It's the tail end of cherry season here in Wisconsin, and that means we're gonna start prepping for Christmas, and we are gonna make a big batch of Cherry Bounce. So Cherry Bounce is basically a cherry liqueur. So there are cherries in it, sugar, and booze. Now I've seen some people make it with vodka. I make it with brandy because this is Wisconsin. And if you didn't know, we drink like the most brandy per capita out of anybody because we love our old fashions and we love Cherry Bounce. So I'm gonna show you how to make this really, really easy liqueur that you can give away as great gifts come the holidays. So you're gonna start with a quart jar. I just have a glass mason jar here. I like to use the wide mouth ones. It's just easier to get everything in. And I have some frozen pitted cherries that I froze a couple weeks ago when it was high cherry season and everything was ripe and fresh in Wisconsin. And I've got 12 ounces of those frozen cherries right here. You can do frozen or fresh cherries. That's why I love this recipe so much. So if you aren't able to get to Wisconsin during cherry season, you can get just any fresh or frozen cherries that you find at the grocery store. So this is 12 ounces of pitted cherries, and that's gonna be about 2.5 cups or so, depending on the cherries. And you can use any kind of cherry you want. These are sweet red cherries. You can use tart cherries. You can use whatever you'd like. And now we're going to add sugar to our jar. I like to make a pretty sweet cherry bounce, so I do about 3/4 of a cup of sugar. You can do anything from 1/2 to 1 cup. I like to stay around the 3/4 of a cup to a cup. Like if I do tart cherries, I do about a cup of sugar. And if I'm doing sweet cherries, I do about 3/4 of a cup. And now the real fun, the brandy. And you're just gonna fill the jar with brandy. And that was about 2 cups or so of brandy. And then you put on the lid and shake. And if you're not gonna use a metal lid and ring, you wanna make sure you're using a leak-proof plastic ones because not all the plastic lids are leak-proof. So the lid's on tight and now we just shake her up. And the thing about using the frozen cherries is that the frozen cherries keep the sugar from dissolving right away. So if you are using frozen cherries, you'll want to shake the jar pretty vigorously every 5 to 10 minutes or so until the cherries have kind of thawed and come to room temperature and the sugar dissolves. If you're using fresh room temperature cherries, the sugar will dissolve into the brandy very quickly. And now this is just gonna get set aside for at least 2 months. And again, shaking it until all that sugar is dissolved and absorbed into the brandy and cherries. And after 2 months, this will be ready to drink. You can keep it longer than that. I know some people that keep it for a year. They make it one Christmas and they give it away the next, whatever you want, but it'll go from this to this. And you'll have this delicious sweet brandy that's great for a cocktail and these delightfully boozy cherries that pack a real punch. And for even more festive flair, you can put it in a cute little jar with a label and a bow for a gift that your friends and family will love to get. Cheers!